Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a workout I want to share with you. The workout is 5 rounds for time, 400-meter row, and 1 sandbag carry. The sandbag I had available to me was 80 pounds. I think I would probably prescribe this a little heavier if you're an RX or elite athlete, so probably 120, 150 would be awesome. It's not a very long sandbag carry. So the style of this workout is heavily inspired by a few different CrossFit Games 2021 workouts, namely the row toes to bar workout, the running toes to bar workout, which is basically just running with 30 toes to bar total, which is like nothing. So in the same vein, this is very much a row with a little bit of stimulus in between. Right now, I'm trying to row at about a 220 pace. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to progressively increase that pace at each round. So there's 5 rounds. I'm going to go from 220 all the way down to 212, 210. So 220, 218, 216, 214, 212. And I think my last 250, 300 meters on that last round ended up being closer to 2 minutes even. I pulled it pretty hard. So we'll see how this goes. Right now, I'm trying to take advantage of my height. I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm about 6 foot. And I'm trying to extend my legs fully and make sure that my arms go back before my knees bend again, which is something I think a lot of people overlook. So I like rowing. I'm good at rowing. So this didn't seem too intimidating at first. I was feeling in a bit of a funk and I wanted to do something that was kind of flowy. This sandbag is a little tricky to hold because it kind of crushes your rib cage a little bit. So I found that if I lean back a little, I put too much pressure on my abdomen. You'll see me hold it that way for the first round. And then when rounds 2, 3, 4, 5 come around, I'm going to be a little more aggressive. I'm going to speed up on that sandbag carry. I wish I had had a heavier one to use today. So in thinking about the running toes to bar workout, I would really love to see Dave Castro program a workout like this at the 2022-2023 CrossFit Games. And specifically, my idea is that you would replace the rowing with kayaking, and that you would kayak to some kind of island, or maybe you do 200 around and 200 back, and then you would carry some kind of boulder or rock to a set target, drop it, and then return again. There's something really primal about that I can't get out of my head. So I nicknamed this workout Island Laborer, because I imagined that I was kayaking to an island, lifting a boulder, loading it onto my kayak, and then kayaking to the next island. Not that that's something that somebody specifically has done, but so here I am rowing at a 216, somewhere between 216 and 218. It is 91 degrees in Texas at the time of recording this. That little fan in the corner is there, but it is not doing much, to be totally honest with you. So I am wearing the Nike Metcon 7. Audacious is the Olympic colorway. I have 2 pairs of 7s so far, and I am a huge fan. I actually pulled that lace lock over, kind of a controversial element of the new shoe, but I like to put it down when I'm doing anything where the top of my shoe rubs a little bit. So GHDs, rowing, where my foot is locked into something or pressing against something, and then rope climbs where the rope has to wrap around, checking the camera to make sure it's still pointed. Rope climbs where the foot has to wrap around the rope in like a J-hook position. I find that lock to be extra helpful. And actually, I don't know if this makes any sense, but I found myself pulling it down during deadlifts. Like I wanted to flip the lace like it was tighter for some reason. Trying to be aggressive on the transitions, Brent Fikowski style. No walking here. I want to move quickly to the object. That way when I'm ready, I'm ready. And here I am moving a little bit quicker. Holding it somewhat lower, actually, right around my belly. That's a slow transition there. I could have picked it up. I wish I could have had water nearby for this one. Of Coming into round 3, right here, I started to get my sweat on. I remember dripping down my face. Although that being said, I made it through just fine without water, so I think if I had had water there, it probably would have distracted me, would have taken up too much time. I would have ended up resting longer than I need to. Yeah, for the games, I would love to see kayak and then maybe like an 150 or 120 pound sandbag. I'm not sure what would be appropriate for an elite level athlete. You could also do something like a yoke carry, any kind of odd object carry, really. I think would be really primal and really cool. I try to think about a stimulus that is natural or akin to some kind of labor in the natural world when I program things like this. And like I said, today I was just really wanting to flow a little bit, and so rowing sounded good. This is, in total, is only 2,000 meters of rowing. Here comes somebody walking by. I considered doing an 800 meter row and then sandbag down and back. That would have been 20. I finished this in about 12 minutes, so that probably would have taken me 25, 26 minutes, accounting for fatigue. That being said, I did a pretty good job of tapering my pace down as I progressed through each round, so it's possible I could have finished in 24 or 23 minutes. Maybe we'd have to test that. Anyway, Dave Castro, tell me what you think. I'd love to see kayaking return, and I think you should use it in a practical way. Imagine boating down the river, carrying an odd object, and then boating back to your departure point. Really like the shoes, actually. I like them a lot. Resetting the rower at the beginning rather than when I come back to it. No excuses. Just want to hop on as soon as I come back. Much faster carry this time. So I've gone down, back, down again. That marks the end of round 3. My whoop recovery was pretty solid today. I woke up in the green, which usually means that I need to do some extra cardiovascular load, kind of a longer endurance-based workout. What I found, and I think Whoop will admit to this, but what I found is that because it measures primarily heart rate data, it doesn't do a great job of taking into account muscle fatigue. And so if you program only around Whoop data, which I don't necessarily recommend, but I did try for a while, if you program only around Whoop data, you end up not able to account for a lot of DOMs, a lot of injury or pain that you might have in certain areas. For example, I get a lot of fatigue after doing pressing movements of any kind. So usually if I program a push press, I try not to do anything with shoulders the next day, push press or thrusters. Anyway, woke up in the green, so I knew I was going to need to do a more endurance-based workout today. Mentally, I was just not here, guys, to be totally honest. And I don't know if it was the heat or just some other stuff going on. Got a pretty busy life right now, so mentally it was enough to just flow through it. I wouldn't say it was a peak effort, but I did surprise myself in this 4th and 5th round. Right now I'm rowing at about a 2:14. Wish I filmed the monitor too. So right now I'm rowing at about a 2:14, 2:16. And then towards the end I jump all the way down to 2:10, 2:08 with the final couple hundred at 2 minutes. At a 2 minute per 500 meter pace. So this workout came in at a 10.7 strain or whoop, which is lower than I thought it would be honest. My Apple Watch tracked my maximum heart rate all the way up at 186, 187. I'll show you that number in a second. Meanwhile, my Whoop usually clocks it at a maximum between 150 and 170. I am not an expert when it comes to heart rate detection hardware in terms of PPE, heart rate detection. There's that run again, that Britt-Bukowski transition. But I just feel like Apple probably is doing it better, and so that's all I'm going to say about that. Whoop tends to underestimate my maximum heart rate. Apple Watch tends to get it right, and so That being said, I'm just a little dissatisfied with the strain scores that I've been reading on my work. Just glad I wore a hat because the sweat was definitely dripping down my head a little bit. So that was a choice that I made. Yeah, I would love to see kayaking and then some kind of odd object carry. Dave Castro, let's make it happen. That is all the commentary I think I've got. One more thing is that I did try to record the length of the field for this using the Measure app on my iPhone, and it did not go super well. I think it was just a bit more distance than the Measure app could handle. Here are these final pulls. Yeah, these are the last heavy pulls, and this is where I'm starting to clock 2-minute pulls. This is a Brooke Ince style row is what I call it. I'm sure it's common, but in the brute strength, brute showdown videos where they do like who's the most fit female athlete, I'll try to link to that in the comments if I can. Brooke Ince rows in a very syncopated way. So she pulls, breathes, and then extends, and then pulls, and then physically pauses, and then extends, and then pulls. And her pace ends up being basically the same as if you flowed through it with a lot of intensity. So basically you get some extra. There's me trying to reach that extra all the way up to my chin if I can. Trying to take advantage of my body height. And this was just a grind. Again, my Apple Watch says I peaked almost 190 at this moment. And I did not want to pick that thing up. But it could have been heavier, so I just ran with it. And we finish. Off camera. Who knows? Maybe I dropped it early. You'll never know. Try to film better next time. Bye, guys.